Hi, my name's John Millay. I am a singer-songwriter and do-it-yourselfer, and I am going to be building a recording studio right here in this space. My wife and I bought our first house this year, and one of the things that drew us to this property was this shop. It's 1,200 square feet. You can only see a small corner of it here. The rest of it is a little bit cluttered. But we were excited to buy a place out in the country, a little house with this big shop. And part of the reason was because we knew that I would be building a recording studio here. And I'm going to be building two rooms. One room right here. It's going to be kind of an office area. And there's going to be a window here. Of course, the exterior door here. A door somewhere right about here into the recording studio. And then another door right about here into the rest of the shop. So that's kind of the rough plan. The first thing I'm going to be doing is taking advantage of a couple of warm days here to install some spray foam insulation all along these walls to provide a little bit of extra insulation as well as an air and vapor barrier just to kind of seal this area off from the outside world. And so in order to do that, I need to remove the electrical wiring that we have along these walls here. And I'm also going to brush the walls off with a broom to kind of clean them up and make sure that we have a good surface for our spray foam to adhere to. So we're going to be doing that prep work today, and then tomorrow we'll be doing the spray foam.
Cue the time lapse. I had a lot of fun shooting this footage. I'm going to try to get audio next time because it's really boring watching this in silence. Or it's not as interesting. So here you see me removing the wiring and outlets, and now I am moving the wiring for the shop lights. I need to be able to use them, and so I'm just kind of temporarily moving the wiring up and draping it over the trusses and keeping everything connected so that I can use the lights between now and the time that I will be building walls and installing new lights and so forth. So I didn't explain it in the intro, but this is just a simple post frame building. It's sheathed with corrugated sheet metal. And this white layer that you see on the inside of the walls is actually insulation. It's what they call a double bubble or a bubble wrap insulation. And it's white vinyl on one side, bubble wrap in the middle, and then a layer of reflective metal or foil on the other side. And so it's just a minimal insulation and air and vapor barrier. And I was going to spray directly to it. Opinions are divided with spray foam contractors as to whether you should spray directly to this insulation or whether you should take it out. And so originally I was going to do the easy thing and just spray right to it. But I did some more research and kind of decided to take it out. And so I cleaned all of it the day before, and now the next morning I am cutting it out. One of the reasons is because I wanted the spray foam to fully insulate these walls. And as you can see, this is corrugated metal. And if I had sprayed to this double bubble insulation, the spray foam would not have gotten into those corrugations. So there would be air gaps between the metal and the insulation. And I just really wanted to eliminate that. I wanted to get it as tight as I could. So I am cutting all of this bubble wrap insulation out. All of this footage was recorded in December of 2020. I did the prep and the spray foam, got that project finished. Since then, I have completed my plans for the studio rooms that I'll be building, and I've actually ordered lumber, and it's sitting in the shop right now, waiting to be turned into walls and ceilings. I'm excited for that. Before I share with you the video of the next phase of building, or maybe in the intro to the next video, I'd like to walk you through my plans and kind of show you how I made some of my decisions and what exactly we are going to be building. So we'll do that in the next video, and maybe that'll be the intro to the first video for actually framing the walls. We'll see how that goes. I guess I will let you just watch the rest of this insulation tear out, And you will see me come back here and introduce the spray foam portion of the video. And then during the time lapse with the spray foam, I'll tell you about the process and the experience, things I learned, things I would do differently, and that kind of thing. So enjoy the rest of this tear out, and I will catch you back when the next time lapse begins.
All right, we're ready. I'm a little nervous, having never done this before, and it's kind of a, if you make a mess, it's a mess. I'm gonna put on my protective equipment and get these tanks hooked up, and get started. So here we go. First off here, we've got our Tyvek suit. If this gets on anything, my clothes or skin or anything, it doesn't want to come off. So the manufacturer recommends a full Tyvek suit. They also recommend that you cover your boots. So I'm going to put these boot covers on. I am recording, had to make sure. Don't want to miss this footage. My wife and girls are headed to her folks' place to drop off some bread that she baked today. All right, let's do our gloves next. I am wearing black nitrile gloves. There goes my wife. Bye-bye! And I'm going to tape the suit to the gloves. Now, today is the last warm day in quite a while, so I'm hoping it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 1:30. I'm hoping that I can get this done. So, all right, here we go. Let's see. What do we do first? We'll do the mask first. And now the goggles. All right.
So the foam I'm using is by a company called Froth Pak. It's Class A fire-rated spray foam insulation. And I bought 2 650 square foot kits. And so each of these kits would theoretically give me 1 inch of spray foam over 650 square feet of surface. Now I say theoretically because for a couple of reasons. For one, it takes some time to learn the feel of the foam. It comes out of the gun at a certain rate and it expands at a certain rate. And so it takes a little time to get the feeling for how much you want to spray out and how much it's going to expand. The other reason why I say theoretically is because this foam needs to be kept at 75 to 85 degrees. If it gets too hot, it's not going to be quite right. If it gets too cold, it's not going to be quite right. And they tell you this in the instructions, which are easy to follow, by the way. But man, I kind of had to learn a little bit the hard way. I had these bottles warmed up to temperature in the house, and each kit is 2 bottles, these 2 different compounds spray out of the gun and mix together kind of like an epoxy, and they create this spray foam. So I had all 4 bottles from these 2 kits in the house, warmed up. They were wrapped in an electric blanket. I should have kept them wrapped when I brought them outside. This was December in Oklahoma. We had some warm days. I think it got up to 70-something this day. But these bottles did not stay up to temperature. And when that happens, the compounds begin to come out at slightly different rates. And so I ended up with both kits having foam left over in one of the bottles when I finished each kit. And that just means that foam got wasted. I didn't get all of the foam on the wall. Some of it stayed in the bottle because I didn't keep it up to temperature. So that was kind of an expensive lesson to learn, unfortunately. And I ended up kind of wondering if it might have cost me just as much as I spent to hire a professional to do this job. So in the end, I wasn't 100% sure that it was worth it. Now I'm satisfied with my result. The quality of the foam, even though the mix wasn't perfect because I didn't keep it up to temperature, the quality of the foam still was really great. I think I got a good layer, even though maybe it wasn't an inch over everything. And I think I got a pretty good air and vapor seal as well. So overall, I'm happy with it. Great product. It's just, it takes a little while to get a feel for it. And you know, it can cost you if you don't pay attention and do everything just the way they told you. I really should have brought that electric blanket out and kept those bottles wrapped up and warm through the whole process. You're going to see that even though I should have had plenty left over and some to spare, I end up running out here at the end. And then I bought a smaller kit to finish out the one panel that I didn't finish and to touch up the rest of the wall. Anyway, I don't think I have much more to say. This was the first step in what's going to be a long process with a lot of work to build this studio. In our next video, like I mentioned, I will kind of show you the plans for the studio and then we'll start building walls. I am so excited to get my nail gun out and to start cutting 2x4s and building these walls. Really glad that you're here on this journey with me. I haven't mentioned it, I don't think, yet in this video, but this is not really an advice video or a tutorial. I'm just sharing my experience with you. So I hope that you found it enjoyable, and I hope that you get professional advice before you undertake any electrical work or spray foam or anything else. So thanks for watching. We'll see you later.